What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Crafters Live. I'm David Wilson, and we're back with another live stream where we get together as a community on Fridays and talk about whatever topic I've come up with for the week, and this week is no exception. First of all, let me say hello to the people who have made it so far. On the IRC side, I see Fade, Big Edie, Ethan, Gun, Dazaj, Pie the Sailor, Gaz J82, Naokotani, Dave, Bionic Babblefish, and then on the YouTube side, I see Peter Amovedya, which is also Big Edie, I believe, Tanamag, and Anton. Thanks, folks, for being here. Ashraz is trying to use the chat bot, and it's not running. It's running on a different machine, and that machine has been rebooted since then. We will have a persistent chat bot at some point soon. But at least for now, we're gonna live without it. Let me just get everything set up here. So yeah, once again, hello to Fear for Us. So I'm on my sort of backup streaming setup right now. The quality is a little bit flaky sometimes, a little bit slow. I think I realized the reason why is because I've got this laptop connected through USB-C through it's like a DisplayPort display, and for whatever reason the bandwidth seems to be affecting the USB bus bandwidth, and the camera is a bit more choppy than on the other machine, and I have no idea why, because this machine is way more powerful. So just weird Linux type stuff that we have to deal with every now and then. That's fine. Let's see, anything else interesting? I had to install Alpine Linux today on another machine because this machine that I'm using for the stream right now is the one that I normally use for demonstrating things. Now that I had to switch it to use it for running OBS and powering the stream, I had to get another computer set up for demonstrating what we're going to look at today. So I had to go set that computer up from scratch, and instead of trying to run Geeks on it, I decided to use Alpine this time, and it was actually pretty straightforward. The people who were there with me in the IRC whenever I did that, it probably took, what, like 20 minutes? Wasn't that long. And yes, also I should mention, related to IRC, go to systemcrafters.net/live if you want to join the live chat on the IRC side. What's showing on the stream right now on the screen is the IRC chat, not the YouTube chat. Soon, YouTube will be pulled back in. I'm going to hook up to the YouTube chat API and get that pulled in here. Also, I'll get Twitch working again, but I just haven't gotten back to it yet. Kind of a lower priority, but it's easier. It should be easier because it's just IRC. I'm just bridging two IRC servers together. But the strange thing is that Twitch changed something, and I can't authenticate to it anymore. Cycler says, mine is one of them, apparently. The internet has been keeling over lately. Some cables have bandwidth limits. Yes. Nakotani says, I bought an HDMI cable, and it caps out at 1440p 60 hertz, even though my screen is 144. Yes, definitely the version of HDMI that your cable supports will dictate the bandwidth that it has. So you have to be careful about HDMI cables because they don't seem to really advertise that very much. And when you go to a store and you see a package saying, oh, it's a high-speed HDMI cable, you think it's just like, you know, flashy marketing. But in some cases, it actually is true. Okay. So before we get into the topic for today, I did want to let you know that next week there will be 2 new course announcements. I'm not announcing them this week because I still need to get all the stuff set up to get that ready. But I will be doing another instance of the hands-on Gauss scheme for beginners course for the month of March. The February iteration is about halfway done now, and I think it's been going really well. I'm learning a lot from the process, and I'm hoping that the people who are joining to the course are also learning a lot as well. I think that there's some learning happening, but there's some improvements I want to make to it, and I'm going to run another instance of it in March. So if you wanted to get in on the previous course and you weren't able to, keep an eye out on the newsletter or next week's stream, and you'll see that being mentioned. Also, I'm going to be doing an unnamed intermediate, I'm supposed to say intermediate, Guile Scheme course next month as well. I'm going to develop a new course that's at a more intermediate level. My theory is that beyond just like getting started with Guile Scheme, learning about Scheme fundamentals, functional programming, and writing some basic practical code for managing your system with Scheme, learning a bit more about how to do things like talk to web services, or create a web service, or host a website, or connect to network services of various types. Excuse me. I don't know why my throat just started acting up. There's various different things like at an application level I think would be interesting with Guile Scheme. We could also take a look at Guile Hoot in that course. I know it's pretty early to be, showing Guile Hoot stuff, but I feel like it's gotten far enough along now that we could possibly cover that, depending on whether people are interested. Thing is, I'm not 100% sure yet sort of what the angle should be. It could also be sort of a geeks angle where we learn some practical stuff for Guile at a more intermediate level, but also show sort of applicability to Guile to geeks, and doing things like writing home services and things of that nature. So if people are more interested in learning about Guile to get closer to writing like advanced geeks configurations, then we could focus on that as well. I'm really looking for input from people to see what everybody wants to learn on that. So certainly let me know about that. Dave in the chat says Hoot 0.4 targeted for early April. That sounds good. I would love to know what the upcoming features are for that, because I haven't actually been paying attention to development the last few weeks. So keep an eye out for next week's newsletter and stream to get the links for signing up for those courses if you're interested. And I'll keep you posted on how all that goes. But I've been having a blast with the current Guile course. I'm most of the way through writing the content for week 3, and it was much more practical, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's kind of a bigger project that's going to span across the 3rd and the 4th week. So people are going to be writing some real Scheme application code that will do something useful, which I think is cool. Dave says the big items for Hoot 0.4 are user-defined modules and fibers. Fibers are cool. Yeah, fibers. I was wondering if I should cover fibers in an intermediate course or an advanced course. For an advanced Scheme course, I'll definitely be talking about continuations and what you can do with continuations, like concurrent programming models, channels, actors, etc. Also advanced syntaxes, or syntaxes in general. I haven't really gotten to syntaxes at all in the first course because it's a little bit more advanced, but things like that. I'm not sure what else would be interesting for an advanced course, but I think that a lot of people who want to know advanced stuff are probably going to want to know about continuations and syntaxes for sure. Dave says maybe focus on delimited continuations. They're pretty mind expanding on their own. Yeah, they're a bit more useful too. I feel like undelimited continuations are harder to harness effectively. But that's saying that as a person who has only really used delimited continuations to write stuff. Undelimited, it was always kind of weird, because you're basically replacing the entire stack every time you reify. Don't bother with unlimited. Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like it's weird, but I want to kind of get to the bottom of like what it's useful for. I've heard people say that you can make delimited continuations with undelimited continuations, and I can kind of see where they're coming from on that, but I don't think that that's a good idea. Okay, anyway, that's enough inside baseball. Anything else worth mentioning? Nothing yet. Yep, okay. AFM says, fibers would benefit from more content on concurrency, i.e. the basic ideas behind the implementation, concurrent ML, and how to think about programming use, the paradigm. Yeah, fibers is definitely a little bit harder to wrap your mind around, I guess. how you might use it. If I were to cover that, I would definitely be covering it from the perspective of, you know, how you could practically use it. You know, it makes a lot more sense for network-based applications whenever you want to have high concurrency and a lot of things going on at the same time. All right, so Dave says, to quote a Wingo comment, call CC is strictly less useful than call with prompt. Yeah, I think, I mean, delimited continuations are composable, meaning you can sort of like stack your call stack on top of another call stack, so it makes a little bit more sense how you use it. You're more calling it like a function. So, with an undelimited continuation, you're just replacing the entire call stack, and you kind of like can't reason too well about what's happening at any given point in time. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Okay. Hello to Minas Mazar, Otto Gecko, Myrekiver. Let's see. Garrett Drishal. Hey Drishal. Let's see. Drishal says it's their favorite tiling window manager. Cool. Shadow Wolf 9 says, I have some questions. How much experience do you have with game development? Pretty decent amount of experience. Check out my other channel, Flux Harmonic, and you'll see some game jam streams. Oraz says, how come no Emacs modes highlight numbers, just convention? Some do. Hello to Sergey. Ashra says, to Fear for Us, survive sounds like the beginner's course is like a gauntlet. Well, you know, when we got into functional programming, I had to explain things like closures and higher order functions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's probably a lot to digest, but it's very important to understand that, because to write scheme code correctly, you don't need to, but it's better if you do it in a functional style. So it's good to understand functional programming. So, yes, week 2 of the scheme course is all about functional programming if you're interested in that. Okay, let's get on to the next slide. So today I have no notes because I have never tried out Hyprland. We're just going to go through the webpage for Hyprland, and then we're going to give it a shot. I've got it on another machine right now. We should be able to just try some things out. I've got a basic configuration set up. We'll just try to play with it some, see what kinds of things we can figure out. It's a very, very fresh Alpine system, so I'll have to install some things, but let's see. Gunn says, has there been a newsletter since 6? No, I don't think so. It's been a couple weeks, few weeks, who knows. I'm very inconsistent with the newsletters. I am going to make that more consistent though, because I'll have more time for it soon. All right. Dave says, is anywhere here in the chat also taking the course? Fear for Us is taking it, and Glenn, I don't think Glenn is here right now, but Glenn's taking it. And some other folks from the community are definitely taking it, but I don't know how often they show up in the stream chat. Okay, so Hyprland, let's check out the website. So Hyprland is, to sort of give you a high level, Hyprland is a Wayland compositor. Tatamag, Erky is also taking it. Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to forget about you. So Hyprland is a Wayland compositor. A Wayland compositor is kind of like the combination of a window manager or desktop environment and the whole display and input aspects of a Wayland environment. So whenever you have like the traditional Xorg, X11, whatever, old style Linux graphical desktop environments, usually you have the Xorg server running, and then it has other programs that run inside of it to draw things to the screen. But the Xorg server is the one that is sort of controlling the drawing of everything, and it has like a network protocol for running applications and all this sort of thing. Wayland went with a bit of a different approach where any graphical environment written for Wayland actually has to do all the jobs of handling input, drawing to the screen, managing windows, etc. So whenever you hear someone say there's a Wayland compositor, what they're saying is it's just a Wayland desktop environment or window manager that has to do all these jobs. The upside of this weird model is that pretty much all, well, I can't say all, I don't know. Many, the ones I've seen, let you control things like key bindings, display management, etc. in your configuration file for that Wayland compositor, which is not the case with Xorg-based window managers. Normally you're using like Xrandr or programs like that to talk to the Xorg server or client. Which one is it? Anyway, to control displays, but for a lot of these Wayland compositors, you control all your displays, your inputs, keyboard layouts, etc. in your configuration for the compositor. So it tends to be a bit easier to set these up. My preference these days is using Sway because it's super minimal, but it has everything I need for my workflow. We're going to check out Hyprland, which is known for its, I guess, what do they call it? Eye candy, right? Eye candy. Okay. So it's a dynamic tiling window manager that has eye candy, which is basically does flashy things like animations, wobbly windows. I've seen some gradients in places. So if you want to have like a cool looking desktop environment that's not so minimal and Spartan as other tiling window managers, you might want to give Hyprland a look, which is what we're going to do today. Hello to Osloy. Let's see. Yes, thank you, Fearforus, for asking. Are you trying Hyprland on Geeks? I did try Hyprland on Geeks earlier today, and this system that you're looking at right now is the Geeks system I was trying it on. Then I realized I can't use this system for the stream for trying Hyprland because I have to run OBS, and I can't stop the desktop environment while OBS is running. So I had to use a different machine. I'm going to use Alpine Linux. One of the things to keep in mind, Peter says it's not only Blink, it's also Bling. It's also really solid. That's cool to know. One thing to keep in mind about Hyprland is that official packages in Linux distributions are not super common. You can look at this listing on the installation page. There's a package in Arch. There's a package in Nix. OpenSUSE has one. Fedora has one on Fedora 39, which I think is like the more recent. Gentoo has one, FreeBSD has one, Ubuntu, you have to build it yourself. Void Linux, you have to build it yourself with a caveat. Slackware seems to have one in the unofficial pre-built package repository. Geeks does not have it by default, but you can get the, Geeks Hyprland. There's a community channel. Let's see. Oh, it looks like Alejandro has it in his repo. It's Hilton's repo. Let's see. Hilton chain. GitHub. Yes. Rosenthal. Okay, this is on Codeberg. But still, this Geeks channel, the Rosenthal channel, does have the... where is it? Is updated? Okay. It has the Hyprland package for Geeks. So if you want to install it on Geeks, you can definitely use this. Let me check the chat real quick. Dave says, does it have spinning cubes? Yeah, we're going right back to, what is it, 2002, 2003 Linux time frame. Man, those were the days, dude. Whenever, what was it called? Compiz? Was it called something before that? Whenever you had the desktop switching, the workspace switching, that had like a big cube that would rotate, and you had like windows that would burn whenever you would minimize them, or wobbly windows and you dragged them around. Oh boy, those were the days. That was the year of the Linux desktop. Whenever you had the wobbly windows, you could drag them around. Then everybody got tired of it, which makes sense because it's kind of pointless. But we'll see. Yeah, it's Compiz. I think there was another name for it too, but I can't remember right now. Okay. So, nah, it wasn't picked on. Compiz Fusion. Okay, so let's jump back to the main page because we want to see what they're saying about Hyprland. And the scrolling is going to be really ridiculously slow because of the low bandwidth of the connection here. Okay, so you can see like a little demo video right here. Things are kind of like moving around a little bit, bouncing around, etc., etc. Hello, Tomas. Barrel, yeah, I remember Barrel also. I think Barrel came after, didn't it? Was it like a fork or something? Anyway, that's the kind of thing we're looking at right here. It's just, you know, fancy animations, etc. Smooth transitions, great animations, high performance, instant input. I mean, I can say after starting it up, it does seem pretty snappy, so. Okay, Tomas says, I remember Compass Fusion was the merge of Compass and Barrel. That's probably right. Dave says, I saw anime and I got scared. Let's not get scared. I got a little scared too, but let's not get scared. Okay, easy to configure. Live reloading config. I did notice that whenever I was trying it. If you change your config file and save it, it will automatically pick up the changes and activate them, which is kind of nice. You don't have to have key binding set up for that. However, I wonder what happens whenever you cause it to crash. Joel says, wow, you're on Wayland? Yeah, I've been on Wayland for a long time, actually. I've been using Sway for over a year, I think. Hey, Seek, nice to see you. I'm a little late, like a true Debian user. Let's see, what are we saying here? Fade is talking in the chat about a Wayland solution for Stump WM. Yeah, there's a, what is it called? Mahogany. I don't really know what the status of that is. Dave says, I'm going to switch to Wayland soon. I mean, Sway is good. And Sway is one of the window managers that you can configure by calling out to its control command on the CLI. So you can use any language you really want to configure it. Or you can just set up a Geeks Home service for it. But yeah, I mean, there's also the Guile DWL, which is pretty cool, actually. We took a look at it on the stream recently, and it's nice. Dave says, I just use GNOME, though. GNOME, it's too heavy, man. Let's see. Joel says, my NVIDIA GPU doesn't allow me to. Yeah, that is kind of a problem. If you use NVIDIA GPU, Wayland can decide it doesn't want to work. Dave says, I can never stick with one of those tiling things. Well, the thing is, you don't use the tiling part. Take it from me. Don't use tiling. I don't use tiling. I just full screen my application, so it's like this all day long. And if I want to open up another application, let's see. What if I open Chromium right here? Then I have all of my workspaces set up to use a tabbed layout. So I just have these tabs at the top. I don't use all the tiling crap because most of my workflow is in Emacs. And, you know, Emacs, you can do tiling all day. So what's the point of having a tiling window manager whenever your terminal and everything else you do for development or your general work is in Emacs? So yeah, I don't really care too much about tiling window managers per se. That's the reason why I like Sway, because it's simple and it gives me basically what I need to have a full screen like experience all day long. The killer app of the tiling window manager is the workspaces. Oh yeah, workspaces are huge for my workflow. I'm switching between workspaces all day long, so that's how I get things done. Hey Trev. Trev says, please give anime warnings before displaying it on screen. I got anime bushed here. So, I'm in the same boat as you. By anime bushed, I mean ambushed. Ambushed. There we go. That's a better term for it. Rolls off the tongue. Joel says, tiling is only relevant to using terminals by each other at best. Yeah, I mean, that could be pretty nice. But Emacs is what I use for that. Dave says, I need some of those handy GNOME apps for settings and stuff. You don't need those. With Sway, everything you need to do is pretty much in the config. Plus, for setting things like GTK themes or fonts, what I like to do, I know we're getting off track here. Sway config. In my Sway config, at the very bottom, I'm calling the G settings app to set those things. So I don't use any graphical settings apps or anything like that. Everything is in my Sway config for the desktop environment, even like setting up dbus correctly. So you can just throw stuff in there. Dave says, what about switching sound inputs, outputs and stuff? I use Pulse Audio volume control for that. And not only that, I use Pipewire, which is much, much better than Pulse Audio. So because Pipewire exposes the Pulse Audio APIs, you can use Pulse Audio volume control. Yeah, PAVU control. I mean, really, you don't need much. I have UDisky for mounts. I have, excuse me, Network Manager applet for network devices. I have Gamma Step for like setting screen color temperature. So you don't really need any of that stuff. Dave says, I have a secondary laptop that does Jack. Yeah, you can replace Jack with Pipewire also. It does just fine. I use Jack apps in Jack mode with Pipewire. Nakotani says, I'm trying to figure out how to get AI to draw David Wheel in waifu form. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Anakawa says, sup, still looking at Wayland window manager myself, but BSPWM setup being comfy. One day I will dedicate a day or two poking Wayland WM though and NVIDIA. Yes. Alternate Vet says, yeah, you do use lose nose polish though. I don't need it. I don't really need it. I try to avoid using graphical apps, except for things like Inkscape or Blender or OBS. What else do I use? That's pretty much it. And Firefox or Chromium. So, like, not very many. Peter says, floating windows, which can be called up when needed, like KeyPass XC, are great too. Yeah, I need to do a little bit more research on scratch pads in Sway. In a couple weeks, I'm going to start streaming on Mondays also. It's sort of a little pre-announcement. I haven't really like locked it in yet, but I'm going to start streaming on Mondays also with the purpose of trying to develop some new videos, but do it live. Not really like I used to, where the whole thing is just a live stream recording, because nobody wants to watch that. You can tell by the view count of all my live stream recordings from Fridays. But basically record the video, sort of research, write the script, record the video during the stream, also with people's feedback as they're going through in the stream. And then the next day I'll go edit that down and make a video out of it. The whole idea is just to make a video. So I'll be doing some content on Sway, Pipewire, etc. pretty soon. Basically just creating a desktop environment for Sway. Let's see. Uwu says, Hyprland has a magic pane where you can send windows to. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. Gorov says, I just switched to Sway 3 days ago. Everything is pretty awesome except Zoom screen sharing. Yeah, you need to make sure you have the right XDG desktop portal set up for any kind of screen sharing. Because otherwise the screen will not show up. You also need Pipewire working as well. Benoit says, viewers could become kind of editors. Yeah, well, viewers can definitely help me to come up with better ways to explain things or remind me of things that I'm forgetting that are important to mention, etc. And I'll still have viewer chat on the screen, even in the recorded video, I think. We'll try it and see. Like, if it gets weird, I won't do it. But I kind of want to make it a little bit more of a blend between a live/recorded experience. Like, I'm making a recorded video, like, in the quality of a recorded video while I'm doing a live stream, but not doing it like in one take. I'm going to be cutting it up and stuff. So Ashra says bot commands to add highlights. That would be pretty nice, actually, if we could have timestamps being added via bot commands. That would be super helpful, actually, for anything that would be worthwhile, especially if there could be like a little description added. That's a great idea. We might need to add that before the stream starts. It's probably going to be more in daytime Europe time, though, because I need to not be streaming while my family needs to eat dinner. So that's how it's going to go. Okay, Edge Crusher says, having a floating terminal with Tmux and moving it between the scratch pad is useful with Sway. Yeah, I think it would be pretty useful, actually. That's sort of what I would recommend the scratch pad for, is sort of a persistent window that you need to call up to do quick actions often, like in the terminal or even an Emacs frame, things of that nature. Like if you want to have your org mode agenda be able to pop up really quickly and do stuff there and then hide it away, that could be another really useful thing. Fade says, Sasha probably has 80% of that workflow cooked. Yeah, no, Sasha has some extreme automation happening for lots of things, which I think is super awesome. Let's see. Okay, let's get into it. I keep going off track, man. It's okay, though, because I think that, you know, we're getting to some details that are useful. Sink says, I think Zoom is still not supported in WL routes. That is possible. Tenamog says, Wayland still doesn't do multiple virtual monitors on one actual wide device. Right, I use Erbsluft with Jan Lung's setup of 3 virtual monitors on super wide screen. That's possible. I haven't actually had to experiment with that yet. Ashra says, I was going to write a bot for timestamp, but I had to test a large ticket at work. Currently waiting for the build pipeline and finish so I could test the fix for the issue I found. Gotta love having to do that. When you hear things falling on the floor below, you have to wonder for a second what's happening. Okay. So, dynamic tiling, automatic tiling that just works, supports multiple fine-tunable layouts. Okay, cool. Touchpad gestures, that could be useful if you like touchpad. Global shortcuts for apps. Hyperactive development. You gotta love hyperactive development because things are just gonna be super stable. I don't know what that means. Plugin system. Cool. I mean, do you need plugins in a tiling window manager? I don't know. Let's see. Get the latest features Linux offers. Bindings and IPC. Control your desktop with your favorite languages or simply via IPC. That's always a good thing. Like being able to configure and control your window manager with your language of choice. You know, being able to use Guile or even Emacs Lisp to control the running session because you can integrate it with your workflow a lot better. Ashra says, didn't we just look into a plugin system for a terminal multiplexer 2 weeks ago? Yes, we did. Benoit says, there's a Twitch streamer that uses CLI shortcuts that changes both the stream info and creates a timestamp subject automatically. Yeah, I need some stuff like that. I want some Emacs commands to do it. I actually do have something for that. A long time ago, I had written, let's see, find library Livecrafter. In Livecrafter, I have a function timestamp start, and I save it out to an org file. And then there is an add timestamp function that will add something to that file. And I had it bound into, let's see, find library DW streaming. Is that it? No. Present. Timestamp. Yeah, here it is. I don't know if you can read this. What is my key binding for that? No? Yes. Okay. So anyway, whenever I would change slides in org present, like when I'm making a video, I would have it right at a timestamp right at that point so that I could just take those timestamps and turn it into the chapter markers for the YouTube video. That was pretty useful, but I need to do some more stuff. Benoit says you could even do it from IRC, get the bot to only answer to your own stream commands. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would be cool, especially if certain people could help me with that. I would be certainly happy to have co-directors helping me with some of these tasks. You know, like I know Ashraz is very on top of things in streams, and Benoit is also on top of things in streams. So certain people would be able to help to like add timestamps, maybe change titles, other things like that. All right. Back to the topic. Sorry, folks, we're getting off track. Hall of Fame. All right, cool. I mean, you see people like this window manager because you can do some flashy things, lots of shiny buttons, etc., which does feel nice sometimes to have a really cool looking environment. For me, it's not really as much of a priority because I just prefer looking at text most of the time. But anyway, okay. So we made it through that. Let's start looking at the thing itself. Let me pull up my other screen. Let me see if I got my OBS here. All right, so here it is. We are in Hyprland on my other machine at the moment. If you can see it. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure you can see it. This is the default configuration. Now, sometimes there are backgrounds that show up here. In the Geeks build, there were backgrounds that I saw whenever I launched Hyprland, but by default, it's pretty bare bones. Let me switch screens. Actually, I don't do that, do I? Let me try something really quick. Let me try something. This may or may not work. Full screen projector. All right, I'm gonna move this over to that screen. Okay. And then screen other. I think that works, right? Okay. Dazaj says, all these fancy effects are getting in the way of Emacs. David, probably, yes, that more than likely. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is Hyprland. And I have a Kitty terminal open. I can actually, oops, I need to be in a different, I can't actually see what I'm doing. So I close the window. I'll use Super Q to open the window. You can see that it has some sort of animation effects. It doesn't look super smooth just because of the screen sharing, but you can see that there's a little bit of a fade and a like a pop-up kind of bubble style effect. So that's what it looks like by default. Super rounded edges on the windows, and there's a bit of a gradient on the border. So they give you kind of a sense of what is possible just to get started with it. And if you go into the, I keep using the wrong keyboard, Emacs. Prepare to be blinded. Sorry for that. But anyway, we see the Emacs pops up right here at the side. Let me load a different theme. Wombat. There we go. At least it's not too bad. So if I were to go into the configuration, .config, if I can read it, hyprland.conf. This is basically the default configuration. Can I move over here? Oh, I keep using the stupid wrong keyboard. All right, so the super key and arrow keys apparently is the one that moves between these. I'm gonna see if I can close this window. Oh, I can't close it because I launched Emacs. There we go. Emacs, and is that gonna work if I close this afterward? Or is it gonna kill Emacs? Seriously? I don't know what the key binding is for closing windows. So like, I really don't know what I'm doing yet. So we're gonna figure this out as we go. So let me just go ahead and pull up the config again. Load theme. We're gonna be banging our heads against this the whole time. Wombat. And then I'll open up the config file. Really? Okay. So they give you an auto-generated config file to start with. And you can sort of delete some stuff. There is a little line in the first of the file, like auto-generated equals 1, that you have to delete. Otherwise, you get this nasty yellow pop-up at the top of the screen the whole time, because that's a way to sorry, losing my train of thought. The auto-generated configuration to get you started quickly, and they sort of tell you to go take that thing out of the configuration. They don't tell you how to do it, though. They sort of point you to the documentation, which is not a bad thing, because people sort of need to go to the docs to set everything up to start with. Let's see, Super P or Super D will probably give you a launcher. I would imagine that's true, but you have to have the right launcher installed, which I probably don't. So let's see, the launcher is Wofi. I don't have Wofi installed, so let's see, whoops. Oh, I'm using Vim key bindings, of course. Control S, menu. So it's main mod R. So what is main mod? Is super. Okay, main mod R launches the menu, but we don't have that menu, so I'll have to set that up. Let's see, mod C. Now, is that like capital C? No. And mod C doesn't seem to do it either. M exits. I don't want to do that. Toggle floating V. So if I were to press super V, it toggles floating on this window. Can I use super and drag it around? Okay, cool. At least I can do that. Then if I use super V, it should go back in. All right. You can see sort of the animations of things moving around. Big Edie says, don't worry, you seem more comfortable with the Emacs key bindings than you did in the early days of this channel. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble back then. I still have trouble, but... mod J toggles the split. Okay. That looks pretty funky. Sudo what? Mod P? Oh, what's that mean? Interesting. I don't know what that means. We'll have to look that up in the docs. We can go between workspaces with mod 0 through 9. I'm not seeing that, though. I don't know. Oh, wait. What workspace am I on to start with? Alternate Ved says, open more windows. Yeah, I need some more windows. So let me open up. Excuse me. I'm losing my mouse on the other screen. There we go. There's some more windows. So we can see the dynamic layout kicking in there. I think it's kind of like a golden ratio thing where it's splitting as it goes down and changing the orientation, which is kind of a nice way to do it, I think. What if I do super P? Yeah, it kind of gives it more space. I don't know why it does that. Gun says pseudo equals fake pseudo. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe some of those commands change layouts. Probably. All right, so workspace 1, 2, 3. Nakotani says, does Wayland not work with NVIDIA? I think it works, but not well. Some compositors will yell at you for trying to use NVIDIA, like Sway. I don't know if it keeps you from using it entirely, but it might. Let me pull up my YouTube chat real quick so see what's going on here. Gorov says in the YouTube chat, pseudo keeps a floating size and aspect ratio of windows when tiled. Okay, interesting. Yes, when I buy my new computer parts next week, I'm getting AMD stuff. Dave says, what's the NVIDIA issue? I think that the NVIDIA drivers don't work well with WL roots for some reason. And Drew DeVault was not happy with them, so he's, you know, got some words in the output of the programs. Yeah, I don't really prefer using NVIDIA on Linux anyway. I would prefer to use AMD. Luge says, have you experienced any performance drop with Emacs PGK and Wayland? I found that I get 100% CPU usage just scrolling in an Emacs window. I haven't had that problem. I'm not sure what that could be. Make sure that it's not trying to compile packages in the background. All right, so for NVIDIA, actually, for those of you who are asking about NVIDIA and Wayland, if you use the Nouveau drivers, if your card supports Nouveau drivers, it works pretty well, I think. So Nouveau does work. All right, so move resize windows with main mod and left mouse button and dragging. So we can resize windows with that. Oh, you can move them around in the layout. So I kind of picked that window up as a floating window by holding super and dragging it, and you can just drop it somewhere apparently, which can be nice if you want to control your layout a bit more effectively. Like if I were to go right here, I wonder what it does. Okay, it just sort of drops it in next to the other window. That's cool. That kind of works. Let me get rid of a couple of these maybe. Okay. I want this one to be the big one though. Can I put it like over here somewhere? Drop that one right there. Yay. Okay, so what if I hold super and inside the gap of the window? Can I drag it? No. Oh, is it right mouse button? Is that what it is? Yeah, use right mouse button, it will resize. Okay, that's pretty convenient. Let's see, what else? Toggle special workspace, Super S. I can see that the screen dimmed slightly, so there must be a special workspace here. If I run meta Q on that workspace, then yeah, so you can switch back and forth between the special workspace and the one that you're currently on. That's meta S. Also, what was the floating? Whoa. Once again, dim bindings. Float. No. Oh, come on. Float. Search around the other side. Okay, mod V. So if I were to go Super S, mod V. Yeah, so you can have a floating window that is in this special workspace. You can put it wherever you want. Like if you want to have a little terminal here, maybe with like an installation of packages or like HTOP. HTOP's not installed here, I don't think. Do as APK add HTOP. We're using Alpine here. All right, so we're installing HTOP. See, that's something that's nice about Alpine. Things install so fast. Not like geeks. All right, so there you go. Now we've got a little pop-up here with HTOP that we can kind of throw back and forth with Meta S. I wonder if you can control the speed of these animations. And yeah, as Trev says, maybe you can disable animations with a hotkey. Mjolnir, the channel name is #systemcrafters-live. What happened to the fancy Emacs? Oh, it's on the other screen. It's right there. All right. Nakotani says, I wouldn't even notice the animation after the first 30 minutes. I mean, probably not. Did I break this config? I see a little grave character that's probably not supposed to be there. Okay, so we've seen sort of like the basic key bindings. We need to install a couple more things to make sure we can, let's see, what if I do as apk add Wofi? All right, so we got Wofi now. Wofi, I need a mode. Give me a mode. I'll let what's his face tell you about that. Hyprland configuration. Where is it? Wofi. Yo, where is it? Oh, you're in here. There it is. Okay, so the key binding for that was mod R. Okay, there we go. So now we got our app launcher configuration. We got a few different things that we could run here. Even the foot terminal emulator, which I had, but not too much. This is a very bare bones system. Fear for Us says, is Wofi the Wayland Rofi? Yes. Big Edie says, I was skeptical about the rounded corners animations in the past, but this bare bones setup looks beautiful. The borders are pretty cool. I want to change that though. Like I want to get into customization a little bit because, I mean, sure, it's a tiling window manager. There's not a whole lot to say about that part, but the selling point is the attractiveness. So we got to try to make this a little bit more attractive to really get the sense for it. Gaz says, you can make Wofi look just like D-menu quite easily too. Yeah, Wofi are generally pretty configurable. Can you reduce the gaps? I'm sure you can. So gaps, yeah, it's not in this config, it seems. Oh, there it is. General, gaps in, gaps out. That 20 right there is probably the reason. So I'm changing this to 10. Let's save it, see what happens. All right, you can see that it adjusted. I think that's the outer gaps. Inner gaps, I'll set that to 2. Save that, and then it adjusts automatically. What about the, oh, here it is, rounding. Let's change that rounding. I want that to be like 2 or 3 maybe, because it's way too extreme. Change that, save it, automatically updates. Maybe let's change it to 2 instead. Be a little bit more sharp. Yeah, that's better, right? So pretty easy, right? Not too bad. You can save the changes and it goes there. Mjolnir, oh, you found the chat. Okay, yeah, you could also just go to systemcrafters.net/live. All right, so that's cool. What else do we have here? There's blur. What are we blurring? Actually, I probably need to turn on a background. I think I can do as apk add GNOME backgrounds. Let's just install the GNOME backgrounds, and then maybe we can pick one. Are those in user share? Properties. Is it in etc.? Where would it be? Oops. /B. Backgrounds. There it is. Okay. GNOME. All right. So there's some things here. How do you set a background in Hyprland? Okay. EG. Start configuring line style. Okay. Uh-oh. Did the stream drop? Okay, we good? That was really strange. I don't know if scrolling ate up all the CPU and caused the frames to drop. Sorry about that. Yeah, I did too in my little YouTube overlay. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's try not to scroll. Better not to do that. In fact, maybe what I should do is look at the stuff in the other machine so that I don't have to upset it. So how about let's add Firefox. Whoa. Oh, I did the wrong thing again. Here we go. Pop it back up. What I do is go to the other screen, and then I turn on the full screen projector, and I move that to workspace 1, and then go back over here. Okay. Scroll of death. It is indeed the scroll of death. All right, so do as APK add Firefox. Man, the spacebar on this old laptop is not really cooperating. Probably because I spilled tea in it. Tea with sugar in it. Probably, how many years ago was that? 3-4 years ago. And I haven't used the laptop very much since then. So yeah. Okay, Firefox. Let's see, what was it? Super S? No, not Super S. Super R? There it is. Firefox. Firefox. Wow, it's so squeezed. Let's try to move that to another workspace. Did that work? Okay, so this, oof, man, that's killing me. Whatever. Can we just turn on dark mode? I feel like I'm looking at whatever the artifact is in the, well, it's not Temple of Doom. Which one is it that they had the artifact that just like burns people to death? The Indiana Jones movie. It's like that. Dark. Dark. Save us, please. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's probably the wrong setting, but dark. Activated. My goodness. Oh, right there. Enable. Okay, now we can live without losing our vision. Yeah. Whatever, Firefox. Okay, so hyprland.org. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Thank you, Ashraz. It says, remember when all the interfaces were Nova Bright? Yeah, I guess that maybe we were in well-lit rooms at the time. Okay, documentation. Documentation. Really? Great documentation? Well, where is it? Where's the link? Wiki? Wiki. I need to fix the track point speed on here. Okay, now back to it. So we had the variables, keywords, blah, blah, blah. Let me tweak something over. Okay, cool. Flashbang. That's right, Artem. It was definitely like a flashbang. Neovella, hello Neovella, says, just recently installed Gen 2 from NixOS. This stream is truly tempting me to not do just good old BSPWM setup. It's go for something new. Yeah, well, you know, that's system crafting. I mean, we're not trying to like, you know, hop around too much, but you know, if there's something new to try, it's worth checking it out. Okay. I'm looking for backgrounds. Per device input config, that's pretty useful. Binds, X Wayland, OpenGL, debug, gestures, MISC. Oh, decoration? Rounding. Are we supposed to be using like SwayBG or something? So not really telling me. Monitors, how about monitors? Anybody in the chat know how to set backgrounds in Hyprland? Wallpaper? Okay, that's the second time alternate vet has told me that, so I'm sure that that must be what it is. No, not that. Control S. Wallpaper. Okay, force default wallpaper. All right. Set to 0 or 1 to disable the anime mascot wallpapers. Search wallpaper. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, so if you missed that, there's more anime baked into this thing. If you please. Millionaires passing me to useful utilities wallpaper. It sounds like I probably need to install SwayBG. Let's go take a look at that doc page. I imagine it's going to tell me that. So useful utilities, right? I saw that somewhere. There we go. Wallpapers. Ah, not that. I was trying to click wallpapers. Ah, it's so slow. Hyperpaper. Okay. All right. All right. Who told me Hyperpaper? Gaz told me to install Hyperpaper. Cool. So let me then go try to install that. I'm going to jump here. I don't know if they have an Alpine. Let's see. APK add Hyperpaper. All right. So probably I need SwayBG in that case. Simple static wallpaper that will never change. Yeah, I don't want changing wallpapers. You don't want to make a config file. Get it here. Okay, so you need to use exec once. Fine. That makes sense. I know SwayBG is here, so let's do that. SwayBG. Okay, and I also need to check the parameters on that. So man SwayBG. I'm pretty sure man pages aren't being installed. Fine. SwayBG help. Image. All right, so how about this? SwayBG-I, user share backgrounds GNOME, symbolic D. I don't know what that means. There we go. Something happened. Can I go to another workspace to see what that looks like? Okay. I mean, that's something. It's like a bunch of emojis or something. Looks like I need to run it in the background, though. We need to set up this stuff so we can actually see transparency of things like terminals and whatnot. What else? Fold L.png. I have no idea what these are. Oh, okay. That looks kind of nice. Maybe it fits in with the whole aesthetic. It's kind of like fire burning my eyes, but that's fine, right? All right, so now we're back here again. And I can see that the border has a bit of transparency effect, I think, whenever it's not active. So that's another little eye candy thing that we see. All right, let's put that SwayBG thing in here. So at the end, maybe I'll throw a little exec once. Exec once equals SwayBG-I user grons. Is there a PNG also? Let's just go with the JPEG. Okay. I think that should have worked. Okay, so that's cool. We got a wallpaper set up. I want to see some of the decoration stuff. So where is the decoration? I mean, status bar. We need a status bar. Way bar really is the best one as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if there's others though. What do they say are like the must-haves for utilities? Notification daemon. I think I'm using Mako, which is pretty cool. Simpler than Dunst, in my opinion. Pipewire, yeah, you definitely want Pipewire. You do need XDG desktop portal so that you can do screen sharing and other things. Like if you were to run Flatpak apps, you need to have XDG desktop portal set up so that you can like open files in your file system. Authentication agent, I use pen entry and Emacs for that, so I don't really use any of these larger ones. And Qt Wayland support, probably, yeah, you need that in some cases, but I haven't seen it so far. Rolix says, nice, been enjoying your Emacs videos, NixOS and Hyprland, by the way. Cool, thanks. Let's see. Big Edie says the solid black background gave it the hacker aesthetic, though. Yeah, we need to just have solid black background and all the colors are just green text, green window dressing, etc., so that it looks like an old terminal. Maybe it's more appropriate if it's amber colored. Dave says, anyone got Geeks config for Pipewire? Yes, I actually have a home service in my configuration I can point you to later. I stole it from RDE, but I've made it so that I can just use it myself in my config. It's been working fine for a while. It needs to be upstream though. Like we really need to have a home service for Pipewire because it's not super hard to configure. And it's so damn useful. Like, I swear. Use pipe wire and never go back. Big Edie said David needs a black hoodie and dark glasses too. You never know. I might do that. I have to eventually go over to the dark side. Benoit says we need better form categories to accommodate Nyx. Yeah, I need to do a refresh on that soon. Amber plasma displays for the win. No one suffered headaches back then. Maybe so. Alex says, I need to check out Geeks. Yeah, I mean, Geeks is certainly worth checking out. I got a lot of videos on that. But I need to have more. All right. What else? Keywords. What's a keyword? Commands for more advanced configuring. Oh, okay, so that's not what I thought it was. Wallpapers are in here. Okay. Hyprland background you see when you first start Hyprland is not a wallpaper. It's the default image rendered at the bottom of the render stack. Okay, so they basically force you to look at anime girls all day if you don't set your own wallpaper. Is that your punishment, or is that supposed to be a feature? Here for us says, David Will transforms a hacker David Will at night. No, I actually have to go to sleep at night, unfortunately. I wish I could be like an all-night hacker type person. That would be cool. You know, I'd be sitting with no lights on in my room with like 15 displays and like techno music playing in the background, like Neo from The Matrix. But you know, when you're 40 years old or 41 years old, you can't play those games anymore. Okay, maybe some do. I don't know. Config sections, sure. Blurring layer surfaces. So there's some other cute stuff you can do apparently. Cursor sizes. Benoit says, does this but in the morning. Yes, I would rather wake up super early and do all my hacker activities. I haven't done that in a while though. I'm going to start it up again soon. Follow the white rabbit. Yes. I don't even see the code. Yeah, you won't see it. David Will is morning Neo. That sounds good. All right, so let's see. Grizzly says, there's a flag to disable the anime girls. Yeah, I ran into that a second ago. That was pretty funny. It's funny that you need to have a comment in your default configuration telling people how to turn off the anime girls in your program that are on by default. I find that to be quite humorous. Okay, binds dispatcher. What's a dispatcher? Oh, this mouse is killing me. Can I use a touch screen instead? Touchpad? There we go. -- no -- anime. Yeah. Okay, please keep in mind that some layout specific blah blah, whatever. First of all, tell me, what is a dispatcher? List of dispatchers. Okay, so exec. I see. They're like actions. How about we call them actions? Because they look like actions to me. Benoit says, so in the end, is Hyprland worth it? Well, we got another 45 minutes to find out. I mean, it's fine. It's cool if you want the flashy things. And it seems very configurable, so you can probably do a lot with it. Moving groups. Ooh, tabbed windows. I like that. I like some tabbed windows. I don't like the tiling. So, group is like i3's tab container. Takes the space of one window. You can change the window into the next one in the tabbed group. Toggle group. So do I have that set up already as a bind? Toggle group. No. I could probably throw that in with the... So they have a command line. Jeez. Am I really going to have to like open another terminal just because I did this stupidly? Hyper control, or is it high control? Hyper control. Okay, so I can send messages. Dispatch. Hyper control. Dispatch. Toggle group. Probably going to do the wrong thing though. Let's see. What did it tell me? Can't read it. Can I full screen? What's the... How about I make it floating? What was the key for that? No, not that one. E? No. V? Yeah, there we go. Oh. Opt flags command. Opt args. Commands? Is it under like layouts? Yeah, I'm not gonna screw with this. Let's just go back to trying to use a bind for that. It says, this is super amusing, maybe less so if I was standing up a new workstation at a job or something. Killer feature tabbed windows, yes. We're going to the heady days of web browsers when tabbed interfaces finally showed up. Because before that, you just had 15 Netscape or Internet Explorer windows popping up in front of you. Who did it first? Was it Chrome? Did Chrome do tabs first, or was it Firefox? I'm pretty sure it was Chrome, right? Did Chrome come first and then Firefox showed up? I can't remember the history there. Oh, the anime girl aspect. Info pages. Firefox did tabs first? Okay, cool. Yeah, I knew it was one of the two. Tabs were a game changer, dude. I mean, like having one window with, you know, the endless array of distractions of all the fave icons of the websites that you were there like last week or the week before last, and you happened to click on one of them and then you realize that 2 hours have passed and you didn't get any of your work done. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I should get some ADHD diagnosis here. Okay. Let me check on binds. I don't really need docs on that. I can just go to the file here. Do we have anything for Super G? Maybe not. So Alt W, Control Y. What did I just see there? Toggle group. And then I'll change that to G. Save it. All right, so if I hit Super G, okay, I see a tab up here with a completely illegible font. That's okay, though. What about this one? Oh, I could probably drag, whoa, I need to hold Super. Can I drag it into the tab? Yeah, there you go. All right, I guess you could probably configure that tabbiness. Does arrow keys not work to go between these? Guess not. All right, we're back in Emacs. Nakotani says, I perpetually have 50 tabs open that I never use. I have probably close to that, but I try to keep it under control. Let me see here. I'm about to lose my other laptop. I need to move the charging cable over because of my lovely situation. All right. Garlic says, now you can ignore all of your window manager tabs too. Yeah, that's right. So much Chrome and Emacs. Yeah, it's looking pretty ugly right now. We're definitely feeling like this is early 2000s Emacs experience. All right, so what's next? I mean, there's window rules. That's not very interesting. There's pretty decent syntax for configuring monitors. So like I was saying before, with Wayland compositors, typically you can configure your monitors in the config. So in this case, I think the default monitor config is just to have the preferred resolution for each display on. However, I noticed that if you don't explicitly call out your external displays, they don't turn on by default. I think in Sway they do, but in Hyprland they don't seem to. At least in my case, they didn't. I could be wrong about that. But here I'm setting up this HDMI display to have this particular resolution. Auto, I'm not sure which one that is. And the 2 is the DPI, or the scale. So I've got a scaling factor of 2 here. What else? You can source files. You can execute any application at launch. I had Emacs set up here at first. So they define some variables here in this file to use the same name in multiple places. So like the terminal is Kitty, the file manager is Dolphin. Is that from KDE? Is that something else? What is that? Wofi. You can tell how out of touch I am for all the cool apps because I just use Emacs all day. Cursor size, theme. Okay, you can set the cute platform theme. Fine. Your input rules. I want to set caps lock map to control, and there must be a way to do that. Let's see. Dwindle layout, master layout, input. Where is it? Binds? Not really binds, is it? You know, you would expect to see like specific things, like input configuration, global key binds, binding mods, submaps. Fade says, as far as mouse file managers go, Dolphin is pretty good. Dolphin is from KDE, says Ashraz. Okay. Multi-GPU, uncommon tips and tricks. Okay, here, let's do this. Hyprland, map caps lock to control. Whoops. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Google. I gotta stop using this. Don't translate it to Greek. I didn't ask for that. I did not ask for that. No. I know that what my IP address is. And it's still loading. I think I clicked on the translate button, didn't I? That's fine. Okay, KB options control no caps. That is the same as what it is in Sway, I believe. So that's pretty consistent. I go right there. Okay, there's KB options. So I just need to replace that line or just put the, what is it? Control no caps. Is that right? No caps. Save it. And now I should be able to use, oops. Now I should be able to use Control XF. Okay, that worked. So now I can use Control, caps lock as Control. Pretty easy. Lost in translations, that's true. All right, follow mouse. That's probably focus follows mouse. Sensitivity. All right, so we have border configuration. You can see they're configuring the border colors. I'm guessing this is how we're getting the gradient because you have two colors for the border. Also 45 degrees being the degrees of the gradient. What I want to change about that? It seems it's kind of blending. I think the EE at the end is probably the alpha value. And the color of the gradient is blending into the background. So I can't really tell anymore what the colors are. Rounding equals one. Okay, where is it? Rounding equals 100. Does that work? Is it gonna crash? Okay, rounding equals 100. Is it gonna be like a circle? Oh my God. Imagine using this all day. I mean, if you had, here, let's turn off, what was it, toolbar mode? Tool dash bar dash mode. I can't see the echo area anymore. Menu dash bar dash mode. Don't you want to use Emacs like this all day? Alternate vet says more. Can we get it completely circular? What is that? 360? Okay, I think that's good, right? That's kind of futuristic, isn't not? Weren't we promised like oval shaped or circular windows in all of the 70s sci-fi stuff? Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work very well. If you can't see, yeah, exactly. It looks like some 70s goofy sci-fi. It's a pill. Probably like border radius and CSS. Indeed, Apple Vision. It probably is like Apple Vision. What about 1,000? We're really testing the limits of sanity here. Whoa! What the hell happened? Okay, let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna put it back to 3. Okay, cool. We didn't break everything. All right. So as you can see, it's quite flexible. In case you want to have some supremely disturbing window layouts, you could do it. I wonder what tiling looks like with that. I really don't want to mess with that, but yeah. We're definitely going full circle here, Fear for Us. Can you do negative? That would be pretty cool if you could get like pointy window edges. It's like the demonic window manager. Let's see, 20. Negative 20? Nah, they're at least checking their inputs better than I do, so. Yes, if you have it on, okay, I think negative just pins it to 0. That makes sense. It's better to pin it to 0 than to let someone like me come around and try to screw everything up. You get alerts. Yeah, okay. Okay, so rounding 3, we're back to normal here. Cool. 1E99. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen. It'll probably just tell me a syntax error. 1E999. Let's do it Ashraz style. I'm surprised it didn't complain. It doesn't have a numeric tower like Scheme, so we can't write these things. Thank you, LeftPad. Yes, thank you, LeftPad, for providing us with this entertainment in the computing space. Dang it, Ashraz. Yes. Is there a log? I don't know. I think there is, actually. Nakotani says, true hackers use 1000 px border radius on all windows. Yeah, if you want to see just like this much of your code, it's pretty effective, I think. Pretty effective. TN5421 says, sup, I also tried Hyprland recently. Well, it's okay. It's cool. Meat Composite says, just tuning in, exciting stuff. I've been on Hyprland plus Emacs Daemon base setup for over a year now. It's so good. I can see why people like it. It's pretty fun to fool around with it. Drop Shadow, yes. Of course. Why not? Shadow range. So I see it down there. Let's take that to the extreme. How about 50? 50? Ooh. Pretty blurry. Try no gaps when only one in the dwindle and master blocks. Make single windows always full screen. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I sometimes use in Sway too. 6. It's very fuzzy around the edges. I guess that's the idea. Shadow color. Oh, we gotta make that red, right? It has to be horrifying. Otherwise, what's the point? FFOOOO. Okay, yeah, there we go. I guess it needs some alpha, right? Yeah, there we go. That's good. Or should we go even further and make it completely pink? Nah, red's better. It gives it a little more of an ominous vibe. Yeah, now we're on the track to make this the most hideous Hyprland configuration in the world. Okay, so if we're gonna do that, we definitely need to go kick this up to about 50. There we go. That's what we need. Then you can't really read what's going on with your echo area in Emacs, so super effective. What else? Blur size. What about 100 on the size there? Probably can't see anything if the blur is 100. What was it before? The blur, I mean, where is that being used either? I don't know. Hyprland from hell plus Emacs from hell. Yeah, that's going to be pretty awful. Awful combination. Animations. Okay, so it looks like you can control the animation timeline with this Bezier, my Bezier. You're creating something called my Bezier, I guess. You're configuring a Bezier named my Bezier. Bezier is like a function for calculating values on a range of 0 to 1, I guess. Basically to make smoothing of values. Okay, so we got some parameters for the Bezier algorithm there. And then some of them use Bezier, some don't. I guess that one just uses Bezier. Border angle. Okay, so I think we could speed up or slow down these particular animations here. So Windows out, Windows in, workspaces. Let's see, where is the configuration for animations? Whoa, what did I just do? Okay. Animations, here it is. At least that one they have as a top level node in their docs. All right, so animation name, on, off, speed, curve. So speed is the third parameter. 7? Is that, what is that? It's not 7 seconds. Is it 7 milliseconds? It feels like it's longer than that. Maybe it's just the slowness of the rendering. So if I change this from 6 to 3, let's say, and then we'll change it to something stupid. Does it feel faster? Maybe a little bit faster. Change it to 1, save it. Okay, that is faster. Now if I change it to 40, good old grandpa workspace switching. All right, 100. If you want to make sure you're not going to get any work done, just wait for it to get there. Come on. I got to scroll my window. Let's go. Come on. Okay. Finally. I can breathe now. It's not going to frustrate me too much. Oh, God. Now I got to wait for it to go back. Why did I do this to myself? Okay, so that's 100. It could be way worse. Let's not play with that right yet. What does the border angle thing mean? How does the border get animated? Is that whenever it pops out? Oh, is that gonna affect that? Let's do Super Q. No, I don't think that one does it. But let's try Windows. This is gonna be great. We're gonna regret this, but 500. All right, so Super Q. Oh boy. Is there no info manual for this program? Well, there probably should be. What if I try to switch workspaces at the same time? Oh yeah, this is really going well. Has it even finished? Jesus. We're getting there, finally. Okay, it's coming for you. Yes, it's opening its big black eye here. What if I try to exit the window now? Okay, that one also needs to be made painfully long so that we just have to regret the fact that we ever closed a window. This one needs to be specifically for Emacs windows, because obviously you should never close Emacs. This should stay open forever. Your Emacs uptime should report like 15 days, 15 months, 15 years. And if you decide to close it for whatever reason, it should be extremely slow. But I don't know if a window rule could set that. Probably can though. All right, so I'm gonna pull up a new terminal window here. Well, let's just wait a little bit. I can take a sip of some water in the meantime. And it's still not done yet. Fade says, when I die, my son will inherit my Emacs process. I'm watching on the feed on the other window, and it looks pretty ridiculous how long this takes for it to open. It's literally still not finished yet. I think I could still use stuff. Like I could type while it's doing this whole thing. All right, so now I'm gonna exit it. Oh, okay, the fade is what's making it look like it's not taking a long time, but I'll bet money it's taking a real long time. What does pop in 80% mean? Okay, so I open a new terminal. Ooh, okay, that's controlling the fade in, and the fade is taking a super long time too. This is terrible. TN5421 says, oh God, I have to wait for it to go back. Definitely set that back to 20 or less. That's not the point. Meat Composite says, why is it scary? It is kind of scary. That's true. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Now see, this is how you can get work done. The window just does not want to go away. And you have to deal with it. This is the year of the Linux desktop. The year of the Linux desktop is whenever you have windows that just do not go away. It's how you do it. Open dozens of terminals in tiling mode. All right, let's toggle group mode back. Yuck. Excuse me. Okay. Was that a mistake? Here, let's throw some more windows into the mix at the same time. Oh, wow. Here they come. Here they come. Here come the little soldiers. Roasted cheese says, dear God. That's hilarious, man. And it's not going well. As you can see, the rounding of the corners is is starting to get a little bit messed up. We have some quarter circles that are looking a little bit blurry, fuzzy. God says, this is why you spend all that money on a fancy GPU. Yeah, so you can basically make it render things as slow as possible. Carnabuck says, Hyprland gave me a lot of issues with his animations. I report these issues and they still persist when I check a year later. Yeah, especially whenever you make it have problems with the animations on purpose. And then, I don't know, if any Hyprland developers are watching right now, I'm sure I'm making you cry. And that just makes it more funny. Okay. I'm not trying to hurt anybody here. I'm just trying to, like, you know, test the limits of this cool, flashy desktop environment. Window manager, Wayland compositor. That's what we're doing here. Wait, why is this not charging anymore? I've got 15 laptops on this desk and they don't charge. One of them is not charging. All right, anyway. Everything about this is cursed? Yes. Oh no, don't link this in a Hyprland Discord. We don't need people seeing me trying to torture poor Hyprland here. All right. What else can we break? There must be a full screen toggle somewhere. I can't even see the screen anymore. Let me drag this to a better position. Oh, can I not even do that? Oh, wrong keyboard. Here we go. You didn't know I was this crazy? Well, whenever I'm trying to just make a point. Ooh, man, that's like maple syrup just dripping down the sides of the screen here. Horrifying. Nice rounded windows. Yeah. Yeah, we're really testing this thing to its limits. You know, it really needs like a synthesizer hooked up at the same time. I think someone mentioned in the chat like the THX sound. We really need that THX sound, that sound every time one of these windows moves. Carnamuck says, are you running it for master or the stable version? I don't know. It's whatever Alpine has. Benoit says, it's almost that time of year collecting maple syrup. Yep. That's going to be more fun than watching these animations move. I think it's still doing something, isn't it? When I focused the window, it looked like it moved. Okay, anyway. What's the deal with this border animation? Now we got to change the workspace again and wait for that to finish. Border. Oof, man, it's starting to tweak my eyes out too. For animating the border colors switch speed. Okay. Border angle for animating the border's gradient angle. Okay. Lava lamp effect. It is kind of like a lava lamp. That's true. Dave says, post a screenshot of this on one of those Reddit desktop threads. Yeah, we're going to throw this on Unix porn for sure. Alternate Vet says, what Alpine is it? Edge stable. This is Edge because, is that right? Hyprland is only in the testing repository. Oh, God. Alpine packages. So if you, man, this is really going to give me super eye strain trying to read at the same time this thing's moving. Hyprland. It's in the testing repository, so you got to enable Edge and testing for this to show up. So it's 35. 035. Carnamux, I did all this on purpose. So it's not a Hyprland bug. I'm just, you know, trolling Hyprland at this point. Excuse me. Dave says, imagine if we could do custom shaders. You probably can. There's plugins. So what can a plugin do? I mean, we're not going to write a custom shader plugin right now, but I imagine you could. Plugin development. Can you click on the link? Is the rounded corners? Oh, okay, it's not a link. Fair enough. It's like Neo in the bullet time scene. Yeah, if you want to feel like Neo and also pull your hair out at the same time, definitely turn your animation speed super high so that you can never get anything done. All right, so you have to write C++ code. Cool. So if you want to write a plugin, you have to have the ability to read. I think that if you can't read, you're probably going to have a hard time setting up Hyprland. So I would say that's kind of a given at this point. You have to have the headers, source cloned. Okay, that's not what I want to know. What I want to know is, can I make a shader to make all the windows have like inverted colors or something ghastly like that? My Hyprland crashes when I use plugins. Yep. How do I make my own plugin? Sure. Dave says, I never did learn to read, so I guess I'm out. Yeah, you seem like the type of person, Dave, who doesn't know how to read. With all the accomplishments to your name, you definitely can't read. All right, let's see. Just wear your shades. I might need to. Man, my eyes are not going to be happy with me after this. Just trying to read text that's moving at the same time. I didn't realize that how straining that is on the eyes, but it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. All right. I didn't get the answer I was looking for. Okay, I can't look at that. Sorry, folks. If I'm killing your eyes, just tell me. I'll turn that off. I think the workspace switching is the worst part. Are there any other animations? That's a great question. Can we make it like do a loop-de-loop whenever it comes in? Animations. Tearing. Tearing is what my eyes are doing right now. I know it says tearing, but yeah, I had to make a joke. All right. So yeah, you can make your own Bezier curve for the animation. So it could do all sorts of weird stuff. How about a wobbly fade? Ooh, God. If we could do that, that would be the ultimate, I think. Visual ASMR? Nah, it's worse than that. It's like visual instant headache migraine. Okay, you make your own Bezier curve. Slide, fade, vert. You can specify a movement percentage. Make windows move 20% of the screen width. Oh, a good website to design your Bezier can be found on cssportal.com. Can we test some Bezier curves and figure out a way to make this even worse? I'm sorry, folks. If you came here to learn about Hyprland and, you know, see a nice configuration being made with it, I'm sure I'm disappointing you greatly. But, you know, sometimes you just have to follow a rabbit hole. Okay, so Bezier curves are a little bit too constrained to do something super wacky, I think. I mean, all you're really going to get is a nice little transition with a Bezier curve. Gun says, eye candy turning into eye chili. Yeah, or anything that would go in your eyes and burn them, for sure. Meat Composite said, it's nice to slow down the animation so you can really get to know your window before you start using it. Yeah, you know, you have to ease into these relationships with the windows that appear on your screen. You don't want it to be too fast. You know, you don't want it to just like jump in your face and start like showing you things. You want it to just creep in a little bit and fade so that you don't get too scared by the window that appears and all the information that it presents to you. Because maybe you're doing your taxes. Maybe you're trying to load up TurboTax. Or maybe you're looking at all the bills that you have to pay in your email. It's really good to have it so that the window just kind of fades in so that you kind of like warm up to the idea of the impending doom of your financial life, right? I think it helps. All right. Hyperspace traveling transition. I mean, I do feel like we're living in the 1970s idea of the future at this point. Some kind of ADHD hell. Okay, fade in, fade out, fade switch. Fade on changing act. Oh, okay. Okay. So there's different triggers. Easing the dimming of inactive windows. Changing active window for shadows. This is definitely ADHD hell. Yeah, if your brain wants things now, then you're definitely not gonna want to have your animations that slow. Because it's gonna make you very upset. Oh, windows move. So I haven't seen that one yet. Where is that? Oh God, I'm gonna get like seasick here. I think I can literally feel my stomach turning when I change workspace. I'm gonna turn that off, dude. I'm gonna end up throwing up by the time the stream ends. I'm not joking at all. All right, that one's going back. Okay. No, I'm gonna set that to 2 because I can't look at that anymore. Okay. Actually, how about we set that to 0? Okay. Or no. what is it, hash? Let's turn workspace animations off so that my head does not kill me later. What? Okay, so you have to set it to 0? Okay, close enough. Goodness. Okay, so Windows Move. So what if I grab this and delete, 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 delete. Windows Move. Whoa, 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 whoa. Page up, page down. There we go. Defaults to 70, turn the line off. I think you're right, TN. I think it's defaulting to some number. Windows Move. 700. Let's bump that down a little bit first, because otherwise we're gonna have a real hard time. So now if I try to move a window, what happens? Oh, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, yep. Config error, invalid speed? Really? Which line? 89? 89? Oh, the 0? You don't like the 0? Fine, whatever. I'll change it. The other one did work, though. I try to drag this terminal, one of these little winking eye terminals. It looks like a strong bed. Is that what I'm expecting to see? Yeah, buddy. Okay, there we go. It just, you know, takes a sweet time to settle in and get ready to do its job. Give it a 300 millisecond animation time. Is that really 300 milliseconds, or is it something else? Has there been any malfunction? Yes, the malfunction is that I decided to not play by the rules and just make something horrifying. Homestar Runner, yeah, you know, if you were alive back in 2003 like I was, then you probably understand that reference. Change the name on the time on the fade animation. I did. It was like 700 now. What about 1200? And then let's close a window. Bye. See you later. Now get some rendering engine that slants the fonts accordingly. And can I still use this window as it's going away? I don't think so. It's not letting me, which is probably a smart thing to do. Maybe it just takes like a snapshot of the frame buffer for the window before it starts doing the animation. I don't think it does, though, does it? Because you can still type in windows that are moving. So maybe the ones that are closing it. Oh, the terminal's done at that point. They're still making new Homestar Runner in 2023. Man, you know, people got to pay the bills. TN says, I think each one is 100 milliseconds. That would make a lot more sense, because that would make this 12,000 milliseconds, which is 12 seconds. So yeah, that sounds about right. Fade throws on a light switch rave. Oh boy. All right. So did we really come to any conclusions here about Hyprland, other than it's fun to just, you know, make it squeal? I mean, it's not literally squealing, but I feel like I'm putting it through a lot of pain right now. I'm also putting myself through a lot of pain at the moment. Start instances of Hollywood in each of the bubbles. What's that? Is that a command line program? I should probably just start up like 15 Rickroll videos and have it just stress itself out. Laptop will probably die though. SLS says for the next stream, it'd be cool to check out River. Maybe, yeah. Maybe we can try out some other Wayland compositors. Big Edie says, the real question is, are you going to switch from Sway? No. No way. Antonio, hello, Antonio. Late to the party. Have a look at EWW widgets to replace WayBar. They use a Lisp syntax to configure. Is it also a bar, or is it just widgets on the screen? There's River Guile. Oh, interesting. Hey, Shom. So apparently there's a Guile front end for River. That's cool. Didn't know about that. Oh, isn't Hollywood a terminal program? Hell yeah. If that's what that is, we're doing that. APK add Hollywood. Oh, we're doing that. Ah, okay. There's got to be like a shell script for that. This is what we got to do. By the end of this stream, Linux Hollywood program command. Fake a Hollywood hacker screen in Linux terminal. Ooh. I hate this website. Oh my god. Get out of my face. Not like it really matters. I don't use this machine, but it's just a principle, you know? Yeah, why does Ubuntu have it and Alpine doesn't? Oh, because it's useless. That's why. You can get the source code. I'm not going to build this right now. There's no point in trying to do that. Unless it's a bash script or something. Okay. Which one? I bet this is like a Go program. Wall Street. Oh, it's like fake stock ticker symbols. Oh, these are... These scripts? Ooh. But I wonder what programs you need. Oh, Biobu. I see. You got to have a lot of programs. So it's really launching real programs. It's not just faking it. Composite says, I used Hyprland when I first switched to Wayland. Is there any reason I should switch to Sway? I mean, in the end, you can probably accomplish the same things with Hyprland and Sway from the window management perspective. And the general like display control, input control perspective, because it's all Wayland. The difference between Sway and Hyprland, the core difference aside from all the eye candy, is that Hyprland is a dynamic tiling window manager versus Sway, which is manual tiling window manager. So if you like dynamic tiling window managers, use Hyprland. If you like manual tiling window managers or you want a very minimal experience, use Sway. That's what I would say. TN says, if Hyprland works for you, then you should be fine. Yeah, just use Hyprland. I mean, if you like it and it works, there's no reason to change unless you just want to try something new. Oh, telnet into towel.blinkenlights.nl. That sounds like a much better thing to do. We need to install telnet, though. Yeah, didn't think so. Do as apk add telnet. I seriously have a headache from watching that stuff. Is it like, what would it be? Net utils? Whoa. Alpine. Telnet package. How to install telnet. BusyBox extras. Okay. All right. Okay, so telnet. Cool. Telnet. What is it? Towel.blinkenlights. Whoops. Bad address. Did I do that wrong? Blinken. Did anything happen? Have we overloaded the server already? Do I have to do something? Press enter. Not working. Spencer says you can make Hyprland a manual window manager with plugins. That's good to know. Shom says, so still after the trial, still Sway and not Hyprland. Is there a recommended beginner's config? I've been using Pop OS tiling for several years and I'm feeling ready to step it up. Well, I mean, if you just run Hyprland after installing it, it will create a initial config for you and you can just go tweak it, which is basically what we've been doing here. But I'll give you this config in case you want your windows to look like you're in a 70s sci-fi TV show. Like if your dream was to use a computer that looks like it came from 2001: A Space Odyssey, then this is your configuration. For sure. TN says, Hyprland offers a basic config. Yeah, I'm sure you can just pick up an example config somewhere. Apparently, Apple Vision sucks, according to Mark Zuckerberg. Well, of course he'd say that, because, you know, he wants people to use Oculus instead. Shom says, this config needs more shag carpeting. Well, it looks pretty 70s. I mean, it was totally by accident, but just the series of choices that I made put us right into 70s territory, which is terrible. Grolix says, Zuck is not biased or anything. Lamal, yes, he's definitely not biased at all. Blinking lights is no longer up. God says, you'll still be waiting for another window to open when the next stream starts? Maybe. Let's just throw a few more in there. How about that? Let's just, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You don't see them yet. Oh, that's the wrong damn keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here they come. Here they come, everybody. Oh, whoa. All right. There we go. So we crashed Hyprland. At least we had been saving our configuration. So now we can get back to it. You need me to wear... Ooh, the fade in on the start of the window manager also is super slow. Cool. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted, is a super slow fade in to my desktop environment. Excuse me. Let's see. Was it Super R? Ooh, you can't see that. I gotta... I gotta put that on the other screen. Let me get this mouse out of the way. All right, let's pull up Wofi here. Super R. Let's see how long that takes. Timely says, I crashed Hyprland by spamming terminals up. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I just tried to call up a bunch of terminals, and it didn't like it too much. Emacs. Oh, yeah. That's the way I love to see Emacs appear on the screen. Just super slowly. I mean, you feel the age of Emacs. Those 40 years really are showing in this slow progression of opening Emacs and fading into existence. It makes me feel very confident in the tool that I'm about to use. Oh, LeftPad is here. Thank you, LeftPad. Thank you for allowing us to crash something. Please stop. It's already dead. Yes. Man, even that other window is God. It's struggling to get out of here. All right, load theme. Save us. Save us. Let's go modus. I did the wrong one. Oh, okay. Let's go. Load theme. Wombat. Let's do Wombat again. Okay, at least there's that. The Rofi is still struggling out of existence. Moody Emacs establishing shot. You know, that's a pretty good idea, actually. If I want to make some really like dramatic videos about, you know, crafting the configuration of some program, I just need to have Hyprland so that I can make it really slowly fade in whenever I launch the program. And then you're going to know that this shit is about to happen. It's about to go down. You won't be able to deny it. God says, once it's open, a new version of Emacs will be out. Maybe. I don't know. I think the Emacs development probably is a little bit slower than that. Ashra says, you need a sad violin playing while fading out. Or you need like a Doppler effect where it's kind of like... Yeah, it's really annoying. Sorry. SWWW? What's that? Oh, you could put GIFs? Oh, no. No way. But maybe yes way. All right, let's see. Let me see. Let me see. What does... I'm using the wrong keyboard again. Of course. So APK search. What is it? SWWW. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on now. I want to run Firefox. I don't want to wait forever for this window to appear. Oh, God. EDEXUI. What's that? Big Edie. Now, Kotani says, I'm actually pretty impressed how fast Emacs versions come out. Yes, they actually care about, like, you know, developing new features and testing them and doing the right thing. So once a year, you get new Emacs, which is great. Okay. So... if I were to go to images.google.com, Rick roll GIF. Hell yeah. That's how we're ending the stream today. If it works. Save image as. Oh my god. Rick.gif. This is seriously giving me nostalgia. I read nostalgia on the other screen. It's giving me anxiety watching these windows open and close. It's a very strange feeling. I can't really explain it. Failed to open what image? Okay. IMG. How do I use this thing? TN says, is it weird that I started unironically liking the Rick Roll song? No, because Rick Astley actually makes pretty good music. It sounds cheesy, but, you know, that album is pretty good. There's some good songs on there. How do I use this program? Is it not just as simple as one command? I got to run a daemon at the same time just for this to work? I guess it sort of makes a little bit of sense. All right. Now I'm going to have to actually look it up. SWWW. Nakotani says, who's going to be responsible for posting this on Hyprland? I would say, let's not attract the trolls, because either people are going to find it funny or they're going to be really annoyed. Okay. I mean, sure, it's nice that you can use an animated background. Why? Usage. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't let me init the daemon. It told me something else. Oh, what? Good job, you didn't clean up after yourself. Failed to load cache. Failed to open image. Well, I mean, I haven't told you what image to open yet. Yeah, it's in the path. I'm launching it. It's just it's not doing what it's supposed to. It says run init first and use the image. Huh. I run init again, then it doesn't clean up its socket file after it crashes or exits. There's like a config file. Config. Maybe, hold on. Let's check this out. Okay. Outputs. Filter. There's nothing about doing this without the daemon to store a config. Ah, is that it? Okay. There we go. Now we got a successful initialization. I'm not gonna worry about the init. Okay, is it doing anything? What about the init then? Okay. Do I have to tell it which screen? I don't know what's happening. Okay, so sends an image for the daemon to display. I wonder if I need to kill the other one. What is the other one I'm using? SwayBG? He kills SwayBG. Or do I killed SwayBG and now the background is fading out, if you can believe it. Yeah, I do have a lot of things going on right now. Let's just kill this. Super M. Ooh. Actually, I should probably take that Swaby G. Man. See, this is where I get myself into trouble. This is where I get myself into trouble. Because I forget that I set this up to do stupid things. Address in use. What? egrep swww. Come on. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't know why it's saying that the port is in use. What is going on? Yeah, I have no idea. I'm trying to run this daemon, and it's telling me it can't bind the socket. Why is it binding a socket? Unless what it's saying is that it can't delete that port file. All right, so rm temp 1000 sww socket. Okay, let's try this then. Here we go. Okay. I probably can't call it back. Image, downloads, Rick. Yeah, I feel like it's either fading in extremely slowly. All right, let's do this too. I'm gonna use VI to save myself a little bit of time. Config, swww, no, sorry, Hyprland. Hyper. SwayBG. Let's comment that out. Then we'll exit this. And we'll run it again. Okay, so we didn't see the background fade in because it's not a program running. So I'm going to run the terminal emulator. Same thing, rm temp 1000 runtime dir swww. Ow. Oh, kill. Hey. Who knows, dude? All right, I'm not trying this anymore if this doesn't work. It's trying to do something, and I think it's just not working. Unless it's taking 20 years to fade in. I don't know if it has a problem loading that GIF file. Or GIF file. Whichever you prefer. All right, so Firefox. I just want to try to open that file and see if it plays, because maybe this doesn't play. Sorry, we're having trouble getting your pages back. Yeah, I wonder why. Because oh, here it comes. Holy crap. And it's fading in too. Ah, blissful. How about that? It looks great too, actually. Can't believe it took that long to show up. Why? Why? All right, let's kill this window. No, let's leave that just in case. How many? How many terminals should we pop up here? Because we're never going to give it up. We're never going to give these terminals up. We're going to let them take 20 years to appear. There we go. Come on, Rick. Sing us off here. Need transparency for all windows? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's throw a few more in there. We're no strangers to love. This kind of thing. It doesn't work, does it? I guess I have to configure Kitty. That was some great system crafting. Yes, we had a very successful time here to totally break Hyprland. Mein Gott. Goodness, man. Okay, well, this stream didn't go exactly how I planned for it to, but that's fine. it's good all the same. We had a little bit of fun. And let's just pull open another workspace so you can see Rick Astley there. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. That was totally off the cuff. I was not prepared. It didn't sound right. Super entertaining, yes. Come back next week whenever we try to break some other program, or I write a program and Ashraz tries to break it. That's generally how things tend to go here, so. Why is my YouTube feed not playing? Okay, cool. So, as we saw with Hyprland, it's possible to make some pretty hideous desktop environments, but that's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. It has its value, and you know, not only can it do all these fancy things on the screen, you can actually get some work done in it too if you're not, you know, setting your animations to about 12,000 seconds. So, my recommendation is give it a shot if it seems interesting to you. Otherwise, stick with something like Sway and see how that works for you as well. We'll talk about some other Wayland compositors as time goes on, because, you know, there's reasons that people might want to use these things, like to actually get work done and not just play with border radius all day. But yeah, I think that's good, right? So like I said, keep an eye out for next week, because I'm going to be announcing a couple more Guile Scheme courses, and I'm really excited to get those going, because I've had a lot of fun with the one that we're doing this month, and I'm going to try some new stuff next month with these courses as well. So subscribe to the newsletter, systemcaptors.net/newsletter, or just watch the stream next week. You'll see more about that. Yeah, and just prepare yourself for more amazing, pointless content like you saw today. I'll put the configuration for this into the show notes that are in the description, so you can check it out for yourself. Why would you want to? I have no idea, but if you're curious, then you can do it. So thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate it. That was fun. Had a lot of time. A lot of fun laughing at the stupidity of what I'm doing. And hope you all have a great weekend. Till next time, happy hacking. See ya.